Stop Wars. Keeping the Peace, Part 1. Understanding Conflict Chapter 1. Introduction to Conflict in a World Marred by Turmoil and Unrest. The concept of conflict has become an all-too-familiar presence. At its core, conflict can be defined as a clash of interests, ideas, or values that leads to disagreement and tension. Throughout history, humanity has grappled with various forms of conflict, ranging from personal disputes to large-scale wars that engulf entire nations. Conflicts come in diverse manifestations, each with its unique set of complexities. Interpersonal conflicts, for instance, arise in our daily lives when individuals have differing perspectives or desires. On a broader scale, conflicts may emerge within the borders of a single state, leading to intrastate conflicts characterized by political struggles, ethnic tensions, or economic disparities. Interstate conflicts, on the other hand, involve disputes between different nations, often resulting from territorial ambitions, ideological differences, or historical grievances. The causes of conflicts are multifaceted, often stemming from a combination of factors. Historical animosities between groups can fuel long-standing conflicts, with deep-rooted resentments passed down through generations. Political power struggles and the quest for dominance can also ignite conflicts as competing factions vie for control and influence. Socio-economic disparities and inequality can breed discontent and lead to social unrest, contributing to the emergence of conflicts. The impact of conflicts extends far beyond the individuals directly involved, leaving lasting scars on societies and nations. In regions plagued by protracted conflicts, infrastructure is destroyed, economies collapse, and communities are torn apart. The human toll is immeasurable, with lives lost or forever altered, leaving behind grief, trauma, and displacement. Furthermore, conflicts can hinder development and disrupt humanitarian efforts, making it challenging to provide aid and support to those in need. The psychology of conflict. To effectively address conflicts and work towards sustainable peace, it is crucial to understand the psychology behind human behavior in such circumstances. Conflict often triggers powerful emotions, such as fear, anger, and distrust, which can cloud judgment and escalate tensions. In the heat of the moment, individuals may resort to violence or aggressive behavior, seeking to protect their interests or assert their dominance. Perceptions and misperceptions play a significant role in fueling conflicts. Different parties involved in a dispute may hold contrasting views of the same situation, leading to misunderstandings and further discord. Stereotypes and prejudices can exacerbate conflicts, as people view others through biased lenses, deepening divisions and preventing meaningful dialogue. Communication, or the lack thereof, is another critical factor in the escalation or resolution of conflicts. Poor communication can lead to misunderstandings, as parties fail to articulate their concerns or listen to each other's perspectives. Effective communication, on the other hand, can foster empathy, facilitate compromise, and pave the way for peaceful resolutions. Conflict resolution strategies. In the quest to stop wars and maintain peace, conflict resolution strategies are essential tools. There are various approaches to conflict resolution, each tailored to the specific nature of the conflict at hand. Negotiation is a widely used method, wherein parties come together to discuss their interests and reach a mutually acceptable agreement. Mediation involves the intervention of a neutral third party who helps facilitate communication and compromise between conflicting parties. In some cases, reconciliation and forgiveness are instrumental in healing wounds and moving towards peace. Truth and reconciliation processes, for instance, allow communities to confront past atrocities, acknowledge wrongdoing, and seek forgiveness. Such initiatives can foster understanding, bridge divides, and pave the way for peaceful coexistence. The role of international organizations in peacekeeping. As conflicts often transcend national borders, the involvement of international organizations in peacekeeping efforts is crucial. The United Nations, UN, is a prominent example of a global organization dedicated to maintaining international peace and security. Through peacekeeping missions, the UN deploys personnel and resources to conflict zones, working to stabilize situations, protect civilians, and facilitate the peaceful resolution of disputes. Other regional organizations, such as the African Union, (OU), and the European Union, (EU), also play significant roles in peacekeeping and conflict resolution within their respective areas of influence. These organizations often collaborate with the UN and other partners to address conflicts and promote stability. Preventing conflict. Diplomacy and dialogue. One of the most effective ways to stop wars is to prevent conflicts from arising in the first place. Diplomacy and dialogue are essential tools in conflict prevention, allowing parties to engage in constructive discussions and find peaceful solutions to their differences. Preventive diplomacy involves early intervention by third parties, such as governments or international organizations, to address potential sources of conflict and diffuse tensions before they escalate. By identifying and addressing root causes of conflict, preventive diplomacy seeks to create an environment conducive to peaceful coexistence. Furthermore, fostering dialogue and promoting understanding between different communities and nations is critical in preventing conflicts. Initiatives that promote cultural exchange, educational programs that encourage diversity and tolerance, and diplomatic efforts that encourage open communication can all contribute to conflict prevention and peacebuilding. Conclusion: a world of peace in a world grappling with various conflicts. Achieving lasting peace may seem like an elusive goal. However, history has shown that through concerted efforts, compassion, and understanding, it is possible to make significant strides towards a more peaceful world. The journey to stop wars and keep the peace begins with acknowledging the complexities of conflicts and their impact on individuals and societies. Understanding the psychological aspects of conflict allows us to navigate through emotions and biases, fostering empathy and open communication between conflicting parties. Conflict resolution strategies offer paths to finding common ground and building bridges between adversaries. Negotiation, mediation, and reconciliation provide opportunities for parties to work towards peaceful resolutions and healing. International organizations, such as the United Nations and regional bodies, play vital roles in peacekeeping and conflict prevention. Their collective efforts demonstrate the power of global collaboration in addressing conflicts and fostering stability. However, preventing conflicts before they escalate is equally crucial. Diplomacy and dialogue pave the way for peaceful resolutions, enabling societies to address underlying issues and seek common ground. In the pursuit of a peaceful world, individual actions matter as well. Each person has the power to promote understanding, embrace diversity, and reject violence. By championing empathy, tolerance, and compassion in our daily interactions, we can contribute to the fabric of peace that binds us all. The journey towards a world of peace may be fraught with challenges, setbacks, and obstacles. Yet, history has shown that the indomitable spirit of humanity can overcome even the darkest of times. As we look to the future, let us remember the lessons learned from past conflicts and the resilience displayed by those who have dared to dream of a better world. The legacy of those who have worked tirelessly for peace serves as a beacon, guiding us forward. The path to peace is not a linear one. It requires continuous effort, unwavering commitment, and an enduring belief in the possibility of change. It may take generations, but if we strive for unity, understanding, and justice, we move closer to the dream of a world free from the horrors of war. In the end, it is not only about stopping wars, it is about building a world where peace is cherished, nurtured, and protected. It is about acknowledging our shared humanity and the interconnectedness of all living beings. Together, hand in hand, we can create a world where conflicts are resolved through dialogue, differences are celebrated, and diversity is embraced. It is a world where compassion, empathy, and understanding are our guiding principles, leading us towards a brighter and more harmonious future. As we reflect on the journey to stop wars and keep the peace, let us remember that the power to change the world lies within each one of us. We are the architects of our destiny, and by choosing to love over hate, understanding over ignorance, and peace over violence, we can pave the way for a world where wars are but a distant memory. In the end, the dream of a world at peace is not just a possibility, it is a necessity. It is our shared responsibility to work towards this dream, to protect the fragile fabric of peace that binds us, and to leave behind a legacy of hope for future generations. So, let us march forward, hand in hand, towards the horizon of peace, where conflicts are but a whisper in the wind and the dreams of a harmonious world become a reality. For in the journey to stop wars and keep the peace, we discover the true essence of our humanity and the limitless potential of our collective spirit. Chapter 2. Conflict Resolution Theories. In the pursuit of a more peaceful world, understanding the theories and methods of conflict resolution becomes paramount. Conflict, inherent in human nature, has shaped the course of history, leaving behind tales of destruction and suffering. However, Within these stories, we find glimmers of hope and evidence of humanity's capacity to resolve differences peacefully. At the heart of conflict resolution lies the recognition that conflicts can be addressed in various ways, and the outcomes can profoundly impact individuals, communities, and nations. As we delve into the theories that underpin conflict resolution, we open the door to transformative possibilities in a world where wars are but a distant memory. Overview of conflict resolution theories. Conflict resolution theories offer insights into the fundamental approaches used to manage and resolve conflicts. From win-lose scenarios to collaborative win-win solutions, each theory reflects different philosophies and strategies. The win-lose approach, also known as the adversarial or competitive model, sees conflicts as zero-sum games where one party's gain comes at the expense of the other. In contrast, the win-win approach focuses on finding solutions that benefit all parties involved, recognizing the potential for mutual gains. Another essential conflict resolution theory is principled negotiation, popularized by the book Getting to Yes by Roger Fisher and William Ury. This theory emphasizes the separation of people from the problem, focusing on interests rather than positions, and generating options for mutual gain. The role of communication in resolving conflicts. Effective communication forms the cornerstone of conflict resolution. Miscommunication and misunderstandings often escalate conflicts, while open and honest dialogue can lead to understanding and resolution. Active listening is a critical aspect of communication in conflict resolution. When parties feel heard and acknowledged, they are more likely to engage constructively. Empathy, compassion, and respect create a fertile ground for resolving conflicts peacefully. Mediation, negotiation, and arbitration. Various methods exist to resolve conflicts, and the choice of approach depends on the nature and complexity of the conflict. Mediation involves a neutral third party facilitating communication and negotiation between conflicting parties. The mediator helps parties explore solutions and reach mutually satisfactory agreements. Negotiation is a process where conflicting parties engage directly to find common ground and reach compromises. Negotiators employ various strategies to create opportunities for resolution and avoid confrontations. Arbitration, on the other hand, involves submitting the conflict to a neutral third party who renders a binding decision after hearing both sides' arguments. Case studies of successful conflict resolution efforts. Throughout history, there have been remarkable instances of successful conflict resolution efforts. The end of apartheid in South Africa is a prominent example, where negotiation and reconciliation paved the way for a new era of democracy and equality. Additionally, the peace agreements in Northern Ireland, ending decades of sectarian violence, demonstrated the power of dialogue and compromise in resolving deeply entrenched conflicts. These case studies serve as beacons of hope, illustrating the transformative potential of conflict resolution theories in fostering peace and stability. In exploring conflict resolution theories and practices, we realize that there is no one-size-fits-all approach to stopping wars and keeping the peace. Each conflict is unique, influenced by historical, cultural, and political contexts. As such, the path to resolution may require creativity, patience, and resilience. Nevertheless, armed with knowledge and a commitment to building a more peaceful world, conflict resolution becomes an indispensable tool in our collective journey to transcend the horrors of war and embrace the possibilities of peace. In the next chapters, we will delve deeper into the practical applications of conflict resolution theories, examining real-world scenarios where these methods have made a difference. By equipping ourselves with the wisdom of the past and the tools of the present, we can begin to forge a brighter future, where conflicts are resolved with compassion, understanding, and a shared vision for a world at peace. Part 2. The Importance of Peace. Chapter 3. Understanding Peace. Peace, a timeless aspiration of humanity, is more than just the absence of conflict. It is a state of harmonious coexistence and mutual understanding among individuals, communities, and nations. In this chapter, we embark on a journey to understand the essence of peace and its transformative power in shaping a more compassionate and prosperous world. Definition of peace. Peace is a multifaceted concept that encompasses both inner tranquility and outer harmony. At its core, peace signifies a state of calmness and non-violence, where individuals live in harmony with one another and their surroundings. It is a state of equilibrium, where conflicts are resolved peacefully, and respect for diversity is nurtured. Different dimensions of peace. Peace can be categorized into various dimensions, each contributing to the overall fabric of harmonious coexistence. Negative peace refers to the absence of direct violence, such as wars and armed conflicts. However, negative peace does not address the root causes of conflict and may leave underlying tensions unresolved. Positive peace, on the other hand, delves into the creation of a just and equitable society where social, economic, and political structures promote well-being and inclusivity. Positive peace seeks to address the root causes of conflict, fostering sustainable peace and preventing future violence. The significance of peace for individual well-being and societal progress. Peace plays a fundamental role in enhancing individual well-being and mental health. In peaceful environments, people can flourish, cultivate meaningful relationships, and pursue personal growth and fulfillment. The absence of fear and violence allows individuals to focus on education, creativity, and personal development. Moreover, peace is a catalyst for societal progress and prosperity. Nations at peace are better equipped to allocate resources towards education, healthcare, and infrastructure, laying the foundation for sustainable development and equitable prosperity. Peace as a foundation for sustainable development, a vision of progress that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs, is inseparable from peace. In regions torn apart by conflict, development efforts are hampered, leaving communities trapped in cycles of poverty and instability. Peace provides the fertile ground upon which sustainable development can flourish. In peaceful societies, resources can be channeled towards addressing socio-economic disparities, improving access to education and healthcare, and fostering innovation and creativity. The role of education in fostering peace. Education emerges as a potent tool in cultivating a culture of peace. By instilling values of empathy, tolerance, and conflict resolution in future generations, education becomes an agent of change, empowering individuals to become advocates for peace in their communities and beyond. Promoting peaceful coexistence in a globalized world. In an increasingly interconnected and globalized world, peace takes on a global dimension. International cooperation and diplomacy become vital in addressing transnational challenges, such as climate change, terrorism, and pandemics. Nations must work together to create a shared vision of peace and collaborate on solutions that transcend borders. Peaceful coexistence on a global scale is not only an aspiration but a necessity for the survival and well-being of humanity. In conclusion, understanding peace requires us to look beyond the absence of conflict and explore its multifaceted dimensions. It is not a passive state but an active pursuit, demanding collective efforts to address the root causes of violence and build just, equitable, and compassionate societies. Peace is the foundation upon which individuals can thrive, societies can progress, and humanity can flourish. By embracing the transformative power of peace, we take the first step towards a world where wars are replaced by understanding, conflicts by dialogue, and fear by hope. Chapter 4. Peace and Human Rights. Peace and human rights are inextricably intertwined, forming a symbiotic relationship that underpins the fabric of harmonious societies. In this chapter, we delve into the profound connection between peace and human rights, understanding how the protection and promotion of human rights play a pivotal role in preventing conflicts and fostering lasting peace. The connection between peace and human rights, as enshrined in international law and conventions, encompass the inherent dignity and equal worth of every individual. The protection of human rights is not only a moral imperative but also a fundamental prerequisite for building and maintaining peace. In peaceful societies, individuals are granted the freedom to express their beliefs, opinions, and identities without fear of persecution or discrimination. Respect for human rights nurtures an environment of tolerance, inclusion, and social cohesion, essential elements for peaceful coexistence. Conversely, in societies where human rights are routinely violated, grievances and resentment can fester, leading to social unrest and conflicts. The denial of basic human rights can sow the seeds of discontent and give rise to movements seeking justice and equality, often through violent means. The role of human rights in preventing conflicts. Human rights violations are frequently at the root of conflicts, both at the interpersonal and international levels. Injustice, discrimination, and repression can trigger anger and resistance, sparking tensions that can escalate into violence. By upholding human rights principles, governments and institutions can address grievances and resolve conflicts through peaceful means. Respect for human rights fosters a sense of justice, enabling individuals and communities to seek redress for their grievances through nonviolent channels. Furthermore, the protection of human rights can act as a safeguard against abuses of power and tyranny. When individuals are granted the right to participate in the decision-making processes that affect their lives, they are less likely to resort to violence to express their dissent. Case studies of conflicts arising from human rights violations. Throughout history, numerous conflicts have been rooted in human rights violations, serving as stark reminders of the urgent need to protect and promote human rights to preserve peace. One such example is the Rwandan genocide in 1994, where long-standing ethnic tensions and discrimination against the Tutsi minority culminated in a horrific mass slaughter. The denial of human rights and the lack of intervention to prevent violence led to one of the darkest chapters in human history. Similarly, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict has its origins in competing claims to land, resources, and self-determination. The violation of human rights on both sides has perpetuated a cycle of violence and deepened divisions, making the path to peace seem elusive. These case studies serve as powerful reminders of the consequences of neglecting human rights and the urgency of addressing root causes of conflicts. In conclusion, the preservation of peace and the protection of human rights are two sides of the same coin. Peace cannot be sustained without upholding the rights and dignity of individuals, and the promotion of human rights is a critical means of preventing conflicts. As we strive to stop wars and keep the peace, we must recognize that human rights are not a luxury but a fundamental necessity for the well-being and security of all. Embracing human rights principles and working towards a world where every individual's rights are respected and protected is the path to a more just, equitable, and peaceful future.